In a dramatic escalation of US-EU trade tensions, European leaders have accepted a trade framework that many critics deem imbalanced. The deal was struck amid threats from President Trump to impose sweeping tariffs, and while it averts an immediate crisis, it leaves lingering doubts over the EU's bargaining position. What's the deal? On July 27th, President Trump and European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen unveiled a new trade framework. Under the agreement, a 15% tariff will be applied to most European imports, half the rate Trump had threatened starting August 1st. In exchange, the EU committed to purchasing $750 billion in US energy and increasing investment into American infrastructure and industry. Car import tariffs, previously set at 25%, have been reduced to 15%. Why Europe chose to accept? EU leaders faced a grim choice: risk a 30% blanket tariff that threatened to cascade into a full-scale trade war, or accept terms many see as unfavorable but stabilizing. Eurosceptic voices responded harshly. France's Prime Minister François Bayrou described the outcome as a dark day when an alliance of free peoples resigns itself to submission, while MEP Bernd Lange warned the deal is asymmetric and not satisfactory. On the other hand, Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz framed it as a necessary compromise to shield businesses hit hardest, particularly the export-reliant auto industry. Who got left out? While tariffs on certain sensitive goods like airplane parts were carved out, key sectors, including pharmaceuticals and steel, remain under negotiation. The EU had initially proposed a zero-for-zero agreement on industrial goods, but that ambition was scaled back under pressure, economic and strategic implications. For Europe, economists predict reduced GDP growth. Some models estimate a potential 0.5% drop, especially in nations dependent on US exports like Germany, Ireland, and France. For US-EU ties, the agreement adds layers of ambiguity and sets a warning tone. For global trade rules, critics argue the deal sidesteps established multilateral trade frameworks. What to watch next? Negotiation over loose ends. Will sectors like steel and pharma see exemptions or further relief? Political fallout within the EU? Will France and Germany push for greater leverage before ratifying? Broader ripple effects? Will China or other trading blocs leverage this standoff? Final assessment? Europe may have avoided a full-blown trade war, but at what cost to its economic leverage and autonomy? The deal offers short-term clarity but exposes internal divisions and reveals how fragile transatlantic relationships have become under pressure. With the shadow of Trump's 30% tariffs looming and key trade details unresolved, the long-term balance of this agreement is yet to be determined.